So one of the I guess how far in the journey are y'all? So where you've talked about the kind of the platform that y'all are building. Where are y'all? How is it being used? How widely? I see one of kind of the first questions we asked that got asked was like how many clusters do y'all have, and maybe afterwards we can talk about the deploying and upgrading of Istio on them.
So I think in terms of the scale, we are still at what I would call the beginning of the journey, although we're doing pretty much better than a lot of organizations I know on the commercial side. So for once, we're not behind, and we're pretty leading, which is exciting. And that tells you we're not wasting your taxpayer money, which is great. And then in terms of scale, there's a lot of room, right? And plus, it's endless, right? What is the end state? I can tell you what the end state is because it's moving by the time I get there anyway. So I don't know if ever we're going to be at a state where we're like, well, we're good, right? Hopefully not. And so in terms of scale, we still have pockets of teams, right? So but we see big programs, big teams in DoD move completely their entire stack. All our nuclear programs are moving on the ground, are moving GBSD to Kubernetes and Platform One. That's a massive win for the taxpayer. That means also for people to realize why this matters. Initially, back in the day, at least, we pay big companies, right, to write software. Most of the development is not done by airmen, so it's companies showing up and doing the work. But it's often also subs and different companies, and they have a lot of different stacks, and then they integrate. So we have an integrator that brings all the stuff together, and that takes forever. And you have issues, and you have testing and disparity and drifts, and now you have to scan it, test it, and oh, by the way, the scan fails, and you're back to square one. So having a centralized government-furnished DevSecOps stack that the team can come and use with all its companies and subs is game-changing, because now it's not throwing over the fence, hoping for the best. It's every day, multiple times a day, pushing code in that government-furnished DevSecOps environment. And we control it. We see what's going on. We see the test every day. It's not every 5 years, every year, because software pace used to be every 5 years. I mean, in the government, sometimes a year when we are lucky, but really 2-5 years. Now we can release multiple times a day. That's game changing. I mean, we just announced a few weeks ago that we released software on a flying jet, while the jet was flying, which is again, I'm not sure much people can top that one.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm glad I was not flying it.
We do it in a way that's super. That's the other thing also with the teams we have. We are not kidding around with nuclear surety and safety, airworthiness. We decouple, and that's back to the decoupling, right? You don't touch your flight control. It's a different part of the system. There is no chance that update will tamper with the jet and the flying components of the jet. But there's a lot of features we can bring on top of traditional flying a plane, right? There's AI machine learning capabilities, maps. I mean, there's a bunch of classified stuff we can talk about, but you can imagine the value of having sensors and being able to swap sensors and try different things. And that's really exciting to see.